Hello. Hopefully we are working. And as usual, I still haven't worked out a way to get around telling if it is actually working or not. Keyboard. Thank you. Right. I'm back. Back with Stationeers. Yeah. So today's goals are to do something. Try and get the furnaces automated. So, how am I going to do that? Is a really interesting question. I need to collect a bunch of these because I will at some point want them. Should probably make another stack of IO. Let's make a couple of stacks of IO stuff. You do quite a lot of IO stuff in standard circuitry. What else is there? I haven't got a clue. Other stuff has got to exist. Once I didn't do anything while I was away. Didn't really feel the need to do anything. I will probably at some point remake this, but for the ingots. I think I need 17 of them for the ingots, so that will probably take up most of this area. But I don't really feel the need to do that on stream because it's a bit dull. And yeah. You see me make one, you don't need to see me make a second. But I was too lazy to do it this time, so it didn't happen. Actually, on that note, how many shoots do I need? Basic shoots take 3 grams of iron, so that's 1500 grams of iron. How much iron is in this one? Okay. I'm going to go collect a bunch of iron. Because I know I've got a bunch of iron in the system, but I can't really be bothered to go and use it. Actually, let's just go out this door. How's water and food? Should probably deal with that before I go mining for a while. There we go. The sun is just setting by the looks of things. So as usual, I start the stream at night. It happens, don't worry about it. Right, so I need about 3000 iron, which is quite a lot. Um, 1200. Uh, 1600, 2000. Um, 1400. So one more stack then. Yeah. So I'm going to go dump that in, probably a bit in both furnaces. Or a half in each. So I've got 2 stacks of 4. Okay, that should be enough gas in there. There we go. Right, that'll start furnacing smelting while I go and get food and water, quick. I also need to remember to bring some actual cans with me, don't I? Let me in, thank you. Open it. Once I run out of this little stack, I'll package up the rest of them. I think I'll go with that method. %, on the carbon filter though. I may need to make myself a new heavy carbon filter in a moment. Right. How are we doing? Two stacks almost done. I'll pump out a bunch of gas and put some more hot gas in. Because I don't think it's actually going to manage to smelt everything if I don't. There we go, that might help. Okay. Why are you acting weirdly? Because there's definitely pressure in those pipes. There's definitely pressure in you. I like tripping up the power. Oh, you're tripping on and off. Why are you doing that? Ooh, weird. Not sure why that's doing that. There'll be a sensible reason somewhere. I just don't know what it is. That'll do. I'll pull you out. Oh. Wait, what? Why is this? Oh god. That's a problem. I guess I'm about to have an awful lot of reagent mix to pack up and do something with. Oh, lovely. Because why the hell was there silver in my iron? Excuse me while I just pick up all this reagent mix. At least try to. That was coming out a bit too quick. None of it's gone in there. Picked up all the bits. At least this regen mix should actually, like, process fine. It's a bit annoying, though, because I think I lose a bunch of my iron. Okay. That's enough. I actually can't take... Oh, I can take more than that. Okay, cool. That's everything. Let's turn you off, turn you off. Okay. I think I've got all of it. So, let me go throw all this in the centrifuge quick. This is going to take a little while, so do excuse me for a moment. Let's also put this iron somewhere. The funs of doing this game at times. Oh no. Don't tell me that's all it'll actually take at the moment. Yeah, this might take a while. Is it just going to do it in one lump, or is it going to do it one at a time? It's going to do it one at a time. Oh. That's a pain. Okay, so I'm going to put an unloader in, I think. Actually, maybe two unloaders thinking about it. At least if I do that, I just dump two of the backpacks in. I then need a sorter, don't I? Thankfully, you can also just hover in the middle of the air. Oh, I didn't line it up. Damn it. Okay, that should be the right spot. It is. Good. Okay. Yep. Didn't mean to put one on the windowed one. Nope. Still don't want a windowed one. Good game. No, I still didn't want a windowed one. I swear they've changed the order of these and it just makes it really confusing at times. Right. Let's dump what I can down here. I need to hook some power up, don't I? I believe there should be power here somewhere. I'm only doing this as a temporary setup, so I'm not too bothered about how it looks. Although, what's the betting it becomes one of those temporary, untemporary setups? That must be a three-way corner. Right. Okay. Now I need a computer. And a motherboard. Oop. Didn't mean to do that. Because next I need to set the sorter to actually, like, do useful stuff. It's definitely a bit more awkward doing this underneath the floor. Whitelist. I want ores. Ore. Hang on. I think I've done that wrong. Sorted comes out here. The non-sorted comes out here. So in reality, you want just bonking up. I have no idea if that actually, like, puts it back in or not. Let's have a look. No. So I just have a random piece of ore stuck in the middle of this. Can I get to it? Anyone see where that went? Oh, there you go. Okay. Straight. Junction. And a bunch of corners to go around here. I think that should work. No major fires yet today. I've only just started, so there's plenty of time to get major fires. Also, hello, Richard. How are you today? Right. Good morning. Where are you then? That can't be US then, because that's a bit too far over, isn't it? Even for the West Coast. Oh, shoot. Yeah. Fair enough. Uh-oh. I done goofed. Nope, trust that to be the one that was actually correct. Just dump it out. Ah. That one's in the top. That one should be the bottom. That one should be the middle. I thought you guys were 8 hours behind. Yeah, actually that does make sense. It's almost 7 o'clock. Fine. So I'm in the UK, by the way. So it's evening here for me. Okay. Let's test this again. Ah. So you've just joined me because I may have accidentally had silver in one of my furnaces. Don't know why. So I accidentally produced an awful lot of regent. So this entire setup is basically just to try and get rid of the regent. And now I've got to go collect more iron because I want more iron. There you go. Interesting question for you, Richard. Would you... Well, I would like to say you've come to the right place, because I've yet to have actually died. God knows how. But I'm not overly convinced that's true. That's the wrong doom hole. I'm quite late into my game to actually be, like, trying to... I don't know how far you've gotten into it. But I'm quite late into my game now, so survival's actually relatively easy, providing I'm not just blowing my base up. Okay, so you're not, like, really new then. That is quite a decent amount of time. I mean, you say that. I'm only 400 hours in, so I'm not that much further in than you are. Yeah, to be fair, I'm on Mars at the moment, so Mars isn't too bad. I really need to try, like, a Vulcan or... What was the other one? It's Venus, isn't it? At some point, and actually try and do that properly. Have you never tried the moon? The moon's usually an interesting one to start with. It's not too... It's pretty good on power. The only thing is you've got no atmosphere, which makes it a little bit more interesting. Still want to know why you're turning on and off. You really shouldn't be. Well, the thing about that is you just need an ice crusher, and you can get your oxygen and you can get your nitrogen, and your hydrogen. And if you want carbon dioxide, you just kind of have to smelt stuff. Actually, quite a good way of if you want carbon dioxide is to smelt. Is to just like smelt, but don't do anything with it with coal. Because you actually get a lot of you get a lot of carbon dioxide out of a piece of coal. 10 moles. If you're struggling with that kind of resource, then it's quite a good way. Yes, the off gas. You just need to cool it down somehow. But remember, you only need about 500 Kelvin to actually like smelt in a furnace. The other way, of course, is just put your arc furnace into a room and just suck out all the atmosphere from the room. So there's plenty of ways to actually get gas. Okay, so I'm actually having a look at why. While this thing's melting, I'm looking at why that thing's being a weirdo. Why would you constantly turn on and off? Hang on, I have no idea. Let me drop you back in there, because this should switch this back to 0. So do you turn on and off? Nope. Just you then. And logic can be kind of fun. Most of my logic ends up being a reader, a compare unit, and a writer. You can kind of do most things with that. There's guides online for how to do solar tracking, if that's something you need. Or you can do what I'm trying to do and actually power a base off wind, which is interesting. I don't think you can do that on Mars. On the moon, sorry. Finally got me iron. And I have absolutely no idea why that pump is turning itself on and off. Is the only one doing it? There shouldn't be any logic difference between any of it. Oh. So have you never really used these then? In terms of the wireless transmitters, get the scripts. So, right. Wind power, of course, is really good, but it gives you high volumes of power in a short burst. So effectively, the way I kind of get around that is I've got a massive battery bank. So basically, charge up as much as possibly can in a windstorm, and then slowly run off it. So yeah, I've got 10 batteries here, plus an additional 5 outside. And currently I've not really run out of power yet. The wireless transmitters, I actually really like them. I found a few issues with them. For some reason, these ones keep dropping out of alignment. And you have to be quite precise on the alignment. I don't know why. I think it's probably a bit too precise. So, if you're doing it, download the script, which aligns them for you. It is library. No, not online. That one. Power Transmit Alignment Script. It's on the Steam Workshop. Basically, just load that up to actually get them to align. I've tried doing it manually, it doesn't work. I've never managed to get it accurately enough to actually get them to work. But yeah, like I said, the complication I've got on this setup is for some reason the wireless transmitters kept running out of, kept sort of dropping out of sync with each other. So I've had to set up a system which kind of recorrects it once every so often. So this chip is just counting basically 1 to 500. It then just turns on this transmitter for 5 seconds, which is enough to run the alignment script for a few seconds. Yeah, that's kind of the only advice I've got on that sort of thing. They're quite good fun. It definitely makes a different challenge in terms of power. Yeah. The other thing to be careful of is, of course, I've literally got the maximum amount of power you can put through a single heavy cable running. In the Storm, it runs about 97 kilowatts through the base end of the cable. So you have to be a little bit careful with it. Well, that's interesting. I didn't know that the pipe bender was quicker at making basic chutes than the auto lathe. There we go. May have gone a little over the top on these, apparently. Oh well, they'll get used. I have full confidence I will be using all of these at some point. Right, back to what I was doing, which is getting a drink. And then trying to work on my automated smelter setup. I'm actually pleased that this is working. So I've actually set up a diode slide to actually tell me how much charge is in the batteries. Just in case, just for usefulness, basically. You can see they're pretty fully charged at the moment.
Oxygen low. Oxygen critical.
Right. Think somebody last stream told me about the ratio value in the battery. And that makes it actually quite an easy job to do. That one. Right. Cool. You've got gas in you, you've got gas in you. Perfect. That's what I wanted. Okay. So, panic meltdown room. I didn't actually mean it as a panic meltdown room, I should point out. I literally... Oh, my light got blown up. Oh. Well, I found another casualty of last time's storm. I feel like that should be left there. have I suddenly got a piece of iron in there? Yeah, it's not actually a panic room. I just like the padded cells and decided to make myself a padded room. Unfortunately, you can't make a straitjacket. Yeah, yesterday's fire was... Well, it wasn't yesterday's fire, it was Sunday's fire. It was kind of impressive. I really... That panicked me for a few seconds. Because I really didn't know what the hell was going on there. Right. Back to today's objective. Automating the furnaces. So, the first thing I'm going to do is work out what I need on each of these furnaces to make it work. So, I will want, for all intents and purposes, a memory chip. So I'll use that to store what the furnace is currently doing. What I want the furnace to do, I should say. So from there, of course, I'm going to use IC chips to actually run the program. And I'm just going to hook these up quickly. I haven't got a cable. Here. No cable. Okay. So each of these furnaces will need access to its memory. Do some naming for a moment. Okay. Furnace 2. Oh, valve. I didn't type it. Oh, I did type it incorrectly. Okay. Naming done. So. I'm going to want memory. Furnace itself. The hot valve. And the cold valve. Don't think of anything else? Put these on together. Furnace. Why do these things like to order each other differently? Really quite annoying. Right. So, additional to that, what else am I going to need? So this is when my ores come out. So I need a sorter on there to be able to switch it between the left and the right side. Need one. I sometimes wish you could make like airlocks run like super fast. I also didn't bring any chutes with me to hook this all up. Whatever. Okay. Sorter. I also want another memory chip. This one is going to be used to actually give the command through of what I want smelting. So I'm going to hook this up to the main power network, because that'll make it easier to get information into it. And of course hook it up to the main network. Okay. So, the last thing I need is another IC housing, which is going to house like the sorter program. I think it's probably the best way to describe it. And this is going to want access to the requester memory. The sorter. The Furnace 1 memory and Furnace 2 memory. And I do need an extra thing. Shoots I want. The other thing I need to do is you need hooking up to something. The question is what? First things first, let's change the cable color. Let's go with pink. Pink's a good color for this. The other thing I want is a wall. Or iron walls. And plastic. Plastic. Where's plastic? Okay, the reason I want the iron walls is because I need to now dig through to this cable from the other side, because this area is pressurized, and if I'm not careful I'll end up depressurizing it. Oh, I've got iron walls. Didn't want iron walls, I wanted normal walls. Right. So conveniently, this already goes down, so I actually already know where I want to go. Which will make my life a lot easier when it comes to trying to find my way through the walls to get to that cable. So what the hell is up with this song? Oh, now it finishes. Well, that's just typical, isn't it? Okay, right. So that one goes to the outfeed. The other one goes through here, I believe. It does. In theory, all I want to do is go up. I hope I don't depressurize my entire base. Awesome. There's my pink cable. Okay, you can get turned back down again, music. You have to come through there to make this nice and neat. So, hang on. Nah, that doesn't work. You need to come in there. So this will allow me to get access to the chip I'm using to actually like request ores to come down. Well, that will back up. It's all nothing. I didn't run cables through the walls at all. Okay. In theory, should now have access to ore requester. There we go. So my overall plan of how to do this is effectively use this chip to act as the memory, or to act as the actual controller for this. And then it hands jobs off to either of these furnaces. Yeah, it hands jobs off to either of the furnaces and runs its own script to actually smelt whatever it's given. That is my plan. The only complication about this is some of them need steel.
Hunger caution.
Hunger caution. Lovely. Let's go grab food. When it comes to the next time, I will actually try to remember to bring up the tin so I can package up some of these tomatoes and not have to come back up here every time. How do you deal with the steel issue? Complicatedly. So the steel, I will probably set it up so that this furnace smelts steel. Do I want to do this? No, that doesn't work. surely that's the one. So, steel. How do I plan to deal with steel? I've really got two methods. Either I smelt it in one of these and then divert it off in kind of back into itself, or divert it into another one. Or I haven't built this yet, but find a way up here to be able to request steel out of the ingot store that is going to be here. Basically going to be another one of these. Probably not quite as big. I don't need to be as big as it. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Is I think I'll just end up putting steel at like the end one, putting an extra sorter in to be able to divert it out through to here, and that can all be handled via the chip on this network. I don't think. Oh, that's the wrong chip. Oh no, I don't really got enough slots for that. I think that's how I'm going to end up doing it. Is I'll end up I always struggle with this. Do I set up a little separate steel storage? Explicitly for smelting, or do I just divert it out of the main setup? Considering I don't really have slots on this to deal with steel, I think I'm just going to request it out of the main setup. So I think that's how I'm going to deal with steel. Of course, I can't deal with it just yet because I haven't built the other bits of the setup, but hopefully you get the idea. I'm just going to make this chute a little bit longer to make sure it can store all 4 of the ores. No, that's not what I wanted. I wanted a straight. So I didn't want the straight that way around. There we go. This one's just going to get diverted around the back of this furnace. So I don't need to worry about its length. It's got plenty in it.
Waste tank caution.
Yeah, lady. It's really annoying that these suits will only pump up to like 3 megapascals in the waste tank. Okay. So, in terms of the return, I've got 2 options. Either I divert it down into this loop that's already existing. That, when I get there, I'll show you. Effectively, just sends everything down the normal route. And then it just carries on into the next step. The benefit of that is probably it's less work. The downside is it puts a lot more demand on the system, but I don't really think I'm going to be doing enough of it to make that an issue. So I suspect that's how I will go. Is just divert the outputs into the current output system in that room. Let me switch some bottles out quick. So let's put those in quick. Not sure quite how I'm going to get that one through there. I may have to do some pipe rerouting. Not pipe rerouting. Cable rerouting, that's the word I'm thinking of. Go this side of the pipe. Carefully not to cross up networks. Hang on. Let's turn all that back to red. That will allow me to get the chutes down here. That was a straight, not a corner. Then I want just the last junction. Cool. Let's weld the floor back up so I don't fall down the holes. Right. First things first, the sorting algorithm. So, I don't remember how the hell to do this. Edit. Clear. Export. Okay. So the sorting algorithm. It needs to read the request. Turn request into a what am I thinking? Into a God, brain's gone dead. Actually, you know what? Skip this step. So what this step was going to be into full-time OR. So effectively what I was going to have is effectively have a number between 0 and 16 come into here. This would request into ORs, which will be XXX, each one being 0 to 9, representing each of the OR types, this including the ones you don't actually use. What I'm thinking is if I'm going to put the request in as the second step. Is there actually any benefit to that though? Because I still need to turn that back into into an ingot type, don't I? Right, no point doing that. This then requests 4 times 4. Waiting for each to be cleared. Decides using furnace 1 or furnace 2. Basically, we'll use furnace 1 unless furnace 1's already got something in it. In that case, we'll use furnace 2. Set sorter to send material to furnace. Gets furnace running. So that's basically what I planned for this bit of software. So to make my life easier, I'm going to use some aliases. Which way do I do this? Requester, sorter, furnace, or requester. So alias. For requester is on D4. So ingot request is on D0. Furnace 1 is on D2. Furnace 2 is on D3. And sorter is on D1. Cool. Cheap. Okay. So the first bit is just read my request. That's nice and easy. LR0 for request setting. Nice and easy. Then what I'm going to do is if A or if that value is less than 0, aka there isn't a request in it, because I'll use -1 as no request effectively. It'll just return to main, basically. And therefore it'll just constantly loop through reading the setting until it actually gets one that it wants to do something with. Okay. So, the next bit is requesting an OR. So this request needs to be in 0 to 9 format. Yep. Actually, let's rephrase. Let's go a different way with that. So now I need to remember how the hell this thing works. Because if you aren't aware of how there are a series of values you can store to, they are R0 all the way through to R15, RA, and SP. So these two have a very special function. This one is jumping around. When you use JAL or equivalent, it stores the return address here. So when you go back, you use that. SP runs on the stack pointer. So I can never remember how to use. I've worked this out so many times and I always forget. I think what you do is move SP0. I think it's push. Memory serves. P. Oh my god. There it is, push. I knew it was there somewhere. Pushes the value to the stack pointer at that. So I think what my plan is to basically just store a bunch of things. So that's silicon. This is iron. Actually, that's a good point. I need to work out whether those are actually correct. Push. Yeah, I need to actually work out these are correct. So yeah, and that'll basically store all the values. If memory serves, if I then just effectively do move SP to R0, remembering that R0 is a number between 0 and 17, it'll then move it to the appropriate stack point. And if I then grab the, so then just peek and store that value, in theory that should be retrieve is the OR code. I'm going to need to fill all these in at some point. I should probably just do it, shouldn't I? Alloys, ores. One sec while I just take a screenshot of this so I know which order the ores are in. Alright, so silicon is still 8, weirdly. Iron is 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, 5. Gold is 4. Oh, apparently I did do this right the first time round. I'll have to double check some more. Copper. I'm pretty sure you were actually correct as well. Push. Nickel. Push. 5551, which is steel. Push. 4499, which is electrum. Push 5577. If you're wondering where these numbers are coming from, effectively, like when I made this, all I did was run down this list, excluding biomass and charcoal because I'm not storing those, and each of the basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's literally how I stored them. I've then just got a list at one side which I made previously because apparently I was actually somewhat sensible. You would have thought this would be a lot easier if I just used a thingy because I could just request on the hashes, but that's actually kind of a pain in the ass, from what I found. Sold out. So, I think if memory serves, 0 in this is steel. I need to go check that upstairs. I didn't set 0 to be whatever's first. Coal. And if I did, I need to change it. Because I don't remember what I did. Right. I think that's all my pushes. As a tester, I am going to write that to because this will allow me to test if this is actually working properly. In theory, I fly over here, set you to 1. You don't read anything. Lovely. Always a good start. You're definitely set to 1. It is the right way around, isn't it? Furnace requester, yep. Oh, that's why it's not working. That should be ingot request, not ore request. 8888. Which is correct. Let me just test another one. Let's do number 13. 9972. Which is Hastelway, which is number 13. Perfect. Right. That is retrieving correctly. Yeah, I did export. It was just the code was slightly wrong. I had the wrong pointer, the wrong alias in the read. It happens. So the next bit is to retrieve the ore request. So, how do I do this again? Effectively what I need to do is take my XXX ABCD and split it into A, B, C, and D. Where A is actually at like that, B is like that, C, and then D is on its own. Effectively, how did I do this again? I've done this before. And about me tempted to go load up that game and go grab the code. Rather than try and make this again. I seem to remember I did it with maths. There's a way of like... Is it mod you can use? Oh, round. Better use round. Round's the nearest integer. So in theory, A, to get that, by divide by 1,000, it'll give me a weird number. If I round that, it should give me A entirely. Does that work? Or do I need to use mod? I don't think that'll work, because if it's above 5, it'll go up 1 rather than down 1. And I always want it to go down. So I think I need to use mod. Where are you, mod? You're up, aren't you? Yeah, I think I need to do mod, don't I? So, I'm going to be a little bit lazy here. I think there's a way I can do this, like, just in a cycle, but I think right now it's not really much use for me. So, div. Let's go into R2. Let's divide R1 by 1,000. That should get me A dot B, C, D. If I then mod, is mod right? I think that's right. So, mod R3. So, store it into a different variable so I can check it. So, R2 is the value I want to check, and I want to do it to 1. Memory serves. And if I do LDB setting R3, I can then see what it comes out with. Export, in, on. Let's do 1. .88888. Not quite what I wanted, but kind of close. So if I then do subtract
Hydration critical.
R2, R3, will that work? Oh. Let's have I change which variable it writes to the thing so I can read it. 8. That's what I wanted. Let me go get water. I almost wish there was a way in this game where you could just like set up a big water tank in your suit so you just like constantly drink for a while. Rather than go in somewhere and come back out again.
Oxygen low. Oxygen critical.
Do-do-do-do. Okay. So that weird thing gets me what I want. So and then write that to the ingot request, no, not the ore request. Cool. Then what I do is jowl weight. So what this is going to do is it's going to read the ore request. And basically what it's going to do is hold the software up until it actually has completed its request. And it's going to do that basically by reading it and then checking if the request now equals -1. So I want when it does not equal -1. And it will jump back up to wait. And then it will keep going like that until it actually has finished its request and returned to -1. In which case it will allow it to jump back here. And then basically I have to repeat this a bunch of times over. Apart from I'm using 100. Oh no. No, actually, hang on. So let me change this around a bit. So I do move R14 1000. Put R14 in there. Game. Why are you not liking that? Weird. What I'm thinking, effectively, what I can then do is multiply R4 by what's now R14. So what this will do is effectively this gives me this one then gives me A. This will give me A000. If I then subtract R1 minus R4, that should leave me with BCD. And then divide R14 by 10. That'll now become 100. And if I then say that is larger than 0, go back to send. Because then this will repeat, but now it'll use 100, and therefore work its way through all 4 requests. That's my theory. Okay. So in theory, now, actually, I have an idea. You can go away. So what I'm thinking is I'm just going to run this and see if I get X number of bits of silicon in here. So, simplify this. I've just piped it straight into the furnace. Actually, I don't even need to do that, do I? Hang on. Better idea. Just leave it like that. Because then the silicon should just drop onto the floor. Yeah, that should work. So in theory, when I plug this in, it'll read the 1. It'll set it to -1 to make sure that it doesn't keep looping itself. Then it should request 4 bits of silicon. Let's see if it works. One, 2, 3, 4. I would say that is a resounding success. Woohoo! Let me check that with something else as well. Set to -1. What other options have I got? Let's do Electrum. Electrum is number 9. Okay. 2, 3, 4. Perfect. Interesting question of why I had to take it out there. Oh. No, maybe. Did I set up this BG BG? Yeah, that should be correct. JMain will send it back up here, where it should just keep running. Let's put you to 5. I don't know what 5 is, but here you already set to -1. 5 is apparently silver. In theory, I set you to something else again. So let's do 4 this time. You're not getting red. Which means it's not getting back round to main. So eventually that should become 10, then 1, then 0.1. Right, that's why. If A is less than B, where B is 1. Random. What? Why have I got such a random amount of stuff? What? Weird. What? Hang on. Why am I getting such a random amount of stuff? Have I got one of the sorters set up wrong? I love the way the game lags is when I walk into this room and it tries to render all the lights being turned on. Alright. Stack size 100. There is an even amount in there. Stack size 100. There is an even amount in there. Stack size 100. There is an even amount in there. Stack size 100. There's currently nothing in there. Probably because it's all in there. Go away, railings. Apparently I need to take you away again. Even amount. 100. Even amount. 100. Even amount. 100. Even amount. 100. Even amount. That is really weird. Why would I have such weird numbers? Also, I should probably grab just a touch more gold at the moment. So, BRB. I would have understood it if it was 1, because it may have gotten damaged in the massive explosion last time. But that isn't what I'm just seeing. Sure on that. I'll have to try requesting it. It also appears to be requesting a weird item. Hang on. I know what I'm going to do. Let's dump this in. I'm going to grab food. Turn you the other way. You the other way. I can get back in a minute. Go grab food. And then I'm going to go test in the... I'm going to go test the all requester thing again. Good, I have lots of tomatoes. Yeah, I figured that was what was happening with these. Okay. Water. Unfortunately, because for some reason I decided to put this great big thing in here, at some point, these plants aren't getting enough light, just because of the way the sun runs. So that's something I need to sort at some point.
Oxygen low. Oxygen
Yeah, lady. Oh no, you're lying to me. So in theory, if I do this, put a couple of windows in so I can see what the hell's going on. Then, plonk. One. If it went, I didn't see it. Yeah, okay. Okay, there's my piece of coal. Let me just keep going. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So weirdly, not all of these are the correct size. I'm wondering if some of them got sort of damaged in the fire yesterday. Which one was nickel? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Number 7. See if I can request another number 7. That wasn't what I wanted. Still not what I wanted. Number 6 then. Still not what I wanted. What? Lead. Nickel contains nickel. Nickel valve. Silicon valve. Contains silicon. Good. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Definitely getting silicon. Why the hell am I getting silicon? I haven't got my laptop. 1 second, he's going to make a new laptop. Because I can't really bother to go out and get a new one. Debatable which one's quicker? I see it. And a big battery cell. Actually, hang on. I learned before that actually normal battery cells are better. Yeah, don't worry. The VODs don't. The VODs also go up on YouTube, so they're there forever. It's not just Twitch is 7 days. Right. You import. Ba ba ba. D1, D2, D3, D4. And D2 is definitely nickel. Definitely the nickel valve. Not the silicon valve. Here. Definitely nickel in there. I'm really confused about this. Just double check these sorters are working correctly. Lead. Silicon. Silver. Iron. Coal. Cobalt. Copper. Nickel. Gold. Which is what it should be. So why the hell am I getting silicon out? So that's not the correct amount of silicon. What the hell is going on? If I put 8 in, what's coming out? Silicon. I'm wondering if I've just got some silicon in, like, the nickel system somehow. I open you. A few times. Okay, I'm definitely getting nickel out. Which is promising. So if I put 7 in there, I get nickel out. Okay, so apparently I had silicon in... I just had silicon in the nickel line. Not entirely sure how, why, where, what. But that happened. Yep, whatever. Let's try that again, shall we? Alright, 7. 2. 3. Where's number 4? Apparently I don't get number 4. Okay. Okay, so now I'm only getting 3 out. Which says to me that this is still wrong. It was probably a muck-up from the massive explosion last time. A is larger than B. So if I set you to 0.5... I have a feeling that should probably have been thingy or equal to. 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. And if I type in 4, do I get another 4 out? 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. Right. That bit's working. Now I get to put the sorter back in. Try and remember how the hell you program with sorters. Oh, great. I've got multiple sorters. Or sorter then. That's the one I want. Okay. So, having requested my ores, I now need to decide which furnace I'm using. Effectively, I can do that just by reading furnace 1. I can reuse all my variables now because I don't need... Because I think I finished with all them. I typed that in wrong or something. Yep, I did. Setting. If you are equal to minus... how do I do this? So if this is equal to -1, aka there's no recipe set, I then want to set the recipe. If R1 is larger than -1, I need to check furnace 2. Sorry, Song, I'm really not a fan of you. Right. And then if furnace 2 is larger than -1, go back to checking. Okay. So let's put a check thing here. So I can go back to that. That needs to be off before you read the value, so that it can keep rereading the value. Let's just read both of them quick. Just so they're in storage. Done. So, the easiest way of this is probably to put in one of those. I also need to take you out because you need to go somewhere else. So the reason I took that out, is because I want it to hold up, allowing another request to come in. Until this one's been cleared effectively, or until it's been assigned to a furnace. So by putting it at the end, it stops another request coming in. Okay. A bar1 equals -1. No, if not equal to -1, go to check for 2. Then I want to do that. with R2 and go back to check. Put a yield in just to make it run a little bit slower. So that then my code for what to do to set the recipe goes here, which will be L furnace 1 setting R0, because R0 is the recipe that I want to set. Do I do anything else? Oh, I need to do the sorter, don't I? I need to do the sorter. 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 So I want the mode on logic. So I need to set that right at the very top. S. Hang on. I don't want to read that, I want to set that. Same there. Mode 2, because that is logic mode. I believe this is still where the wiki is actually useful. Even though it's not really up to date, I don't think they've updated this. Somewhere in here. Yeah. So I set the sorter. Which do I set it in? Output, I believe. Oops. I believe that's how you do it. Yeah. Finds the output port manually. Right. And effectively, I want to wait sort. The reason I want to wait is because I need to wait to check that it actually sends through the items. So I believe I do S sorter. I think it's clear memory 1. Actually, hang on. Better idea. Move R2 0 R2 and then read the export count to sorter. And if the export count is less than 4, it carries on just telling it to go out one way or the other, checking it, put a yield in there. Yeah. And then it jumps back up to here. Whereas this one be equal to that. The value will be 2 for the export count, and then it waits to sort. So in theory, I'm going to hash out that and hash out that for a moment. The reason I'm doing that is so that it doesn't actually set the memory. This will allow me to do some validation of which way it's going. So, export. Actually, that reminds me. Hold on. S sorter on 0. Turn the sorter off. I want to turn the sorter on here. Export. Because it does help if you actually turn it on. Line 7. Oh, I haven't defined what sorter is at that point. Yeah, I'm not surprised you don't like that. There we go. Okay. So, if I set you to 1. Theory. Sorter is on, it's a good start. I'm distinctly not getting anything out of it. So I've once gotten to the right bit of code, and nothing is happening. Okay. Move R2 equals 0. If set to 0, the next item will exit from the right side slot. Or facing the exits. So 0 is correct. But you are not working. It's obviously in logic mode, otherwise it would send it out one or the other. My guess is it's running through this. Let's change it to R3 a sec. They appear to be doing an R2 check there. I assume you're still set to 1. You're not coming out. Why are you not coming out? That is quite annoying. I need water. 1 sec. Just fly then. Trying to be nice and walk along like a mountainside, but you have to just go, no, fly. Food is alright for now, so that's fine. Why is that not working? First things first. Pretty sure one of those silicon rolled down the chute somewhere. And the other one stuck in the conveyor. It's definitely requesting silicon properly. It's just not going through the sorter properly. Just to me, it's getting hung up on that wait loop. Sorter output. Just in case it is being weird, let's just change the U to there. Right. Line 50 has an error. S sorter on. Oh. Because I deleted it. The reference went away, didn't it? There we go. That should now work again. But again, we've... Oh, nope, nope, nope. Okay. The mode didn't work. That is a bit weird. So if I set that mode up here, it's fine. But it's just not outputting. Why are you not outputting? Hang on. If I just write to the sorter correctly, will anything happen? So in logic memory, there are no other logic memories on this circuit. Good. That are called logic memory anyways. Or sorter. Output. Okay, it's definitely working. For some reason, it's not paying attention to what the software is doing. Okay. Sorter output R3. R3 should equal 0 or 1. Sets it, waits. grabs the export count, and then it rolls around. In theory, it should just keep setting that. Let's sleep 1 in. Okay, something's gone in, but nothing's coming out. This is really, really random. I really don't know what to make of this. I'm not really sure why. Why this isn't working. Hold on. Export. Just drop you on the ground a minute. Import. S D1 output 0. Export. Definitely is working. Okay. So there is definitely something wrong with the software. Sorter is definitely on D1. A is less than B. And let's also put in a L and S B B setting R15. Just to be able to read what the hell's going on with that. It'll also tell me if he's ever getting there. That one worked because it was going out once. Right. That tells me it's never getting there. Because it's still on a state of 0, a state of 8, and it shouldn't be. Okay. I know. These aren't set to -1. So I bet you it's never actually getting that far. Let me... Right. That should now set the thing so it doesn't do anything. So in theory, if I then export this, put it in, this might work this time. 1, 2, 3, 4. You have not been set back to -1. That is telling me it's 4. I bet I know what's going on. Hold on. I then need to jump over the furnace 2 stuff. One, 2, 3, 4. Nope. Still set for number 1. Okay, which says it's probably never leaving there. So, BLT. Is when A, that, is less than B. So, if that equals 4, that is not less than 4. Therefore, it should allow it back through. And anything else should jump back to waste sort. And it shouldn't be less than or equal to, because it'll only get to 4, because only 4 going through. So let's set you over here and put a number in. Let's test that if that's actually ever getting that far. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. So it's definitely that logic is not working properly. It's definitely getting to 4. Branch line C if A is less than B. Where A is the export count. So I know that's getting to 4. What happens if I do NA then? So is not equal to 4. Will that one work? Nope. My guess is it's still just running around in a loop. SDB 15. Why do these things never go smoothly? 1, 2, 3, 4. But it's just not exiting that loop. Why are you not exiting that loop? That does seem really weird. Also, let's just set you up to make sure the thing resets, just in case it puts an extra setting in. Let's put R3 into you, because that's what you should be. Don't need a yield in you. What if I do if is larger than or equal to 4? No, because that should exit that. I mean, that's the other way I could do this, I guess. No, I don't really want it to do that way around. Oh, that's why it's not working. I was reading the wrong variable. Ah. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now gets to 100. You've been set to -1. The sorter has been turned off. Perfect. And if I put in 3 into that, do I get a different recipe? Gold. Perfect. And you're back to -1, which is spot on. Okay. Next thing. Remove the 2 hashes so it can write to the settings. Put you in as something. Okay, we got copper. Copper, copper, copper. You're on state of 4. Then in theory, if I set you to something else, you should come out the other side. 3, 4. And back to -1. And now if I do it again, nothing should happen until I set one of these to -1. Sweet! I would say that is a success. Other than just needing to write you both back to -1. Okay. A couple other little tidy up things. I am going to
Hunger caution.
as a part of the setup of this thing, put both these to -1 as a bit of just to tidy up, just in case. Still don't know why that's highlighting red, because it is working. Okay. So that appears to be a working piece of software. So let's just put me corners back in. Right. I now need food. Ah, that was definitely not as easy as it should have been. Right, so the next bit is I wanted tins, that was what I'm after. Because I did say next time I would go and actually make some tins of tomatoes rather than empty cans. Don't want 500 of them, weirdly. Can't imagine why I don't want 500 of them. Grab 10 of them. What are you guys doing? Absolutely nowhere. Good to see. 10 tin cans. Let's go make myself some cans of stuff. Right, so the next part of this is therefore the automated furnace script. Now, I've looked through a bunch of the ones on the workshop, and they kind of don't really work for me. So I'm going to make my own. Because apparently I'm just a glutton for punishment today. What's packaging machine? tomatoes. Tomatoes. Probably clear some of these plants. I really don't need this many plants. Let's go with that number. Just 2 will be fine. Oh yeah. It does help hook it up to power. And tomato soup. Oh wow, this is going to take a while. La-di-da-di-da. I don't really need to make another tin right now because nothing rots while it's in here. Because logic. These things are apparently got perfect fridges in them. Trade-off, of course, being you can't ever get stuff back out of them. Once it's in there, it then turns to biomass if you try and extract it. Right. Do I need anything for this furnace script?
Oxygen critical.
Don't think so. I just came out the wrong door to do it. Minor detail. Okay. Let's just turn the door over. So when I need to, I can get in. Import. So this script, to me, so you read recipe, get values. So by that is going to be hot, cold, low, high pressure. You then smelt ores. As I'm doing all this in batches of 400, I'm looking for 400 items in Regent. Memory serves, that's where it stores. Then, ooh, hang on. Temp above 500k. Heat pressure 500 Pascal. Because you only need a really, really, really tiny amount of heat to do this. And eventually that will just keep it looping around, not much usage of gas. So after that, your setting pressure internally to 100 pascals, let's say. I don't want to go to 0 because it takes too long. Then running settings. So by that I mean it's using hot and cold to get above the low pressure and above the minimum temperature. And then it's using cold if it's above temperature. And of course, if it's too high a pressure, it's releasing gas into the. I'm supposed to write that down. So, low pressure, low temperature, add hot gas, high pressure, high temperature, add cold gas, high pressure, release gas. Oh, my waste tank's full. Okay, then the last thing is vent gas to output. So that's the order of things that go on. Right. How am I going to store this data? So again, I'm going to use the SP and the push. Now previously, I've done values like this. Where I think it was high temperature. Sorry, low temperature. Can't remember. I did write this down. High temperature. Low temperature. Oh yeah, 5,000 degrees C, providing it's basically you can't get to that kind of numbers. High pressure. Lower. Oh, higher than that pressure, lower than that pressure. Like why there is a 40,001 on that, I don't know. Now, this worked really well. But the problem I had was it was too long of a number. It didn't store in the... I don't remember what variable they use. I can't remember, but it didn't store very well, so I quite often lost information. Hello, Mighty Stoosh. How are you doing? Today, I am trying to automate my furnace setup. So I've managed to automate getting the ores into the furnaces, and it appears to be working. So now I'm trying to do automated furnaces, and I had to look through the scripts. I didn't like them. And nope, today I have not managed to blow anything up. I'm sure at the end of the stream, if you really want to see something blown up, I can blow something up. It won't be that hard. But yeah, so I'm thinking I'm going to redo this. One thing is, if memory serves, you don't need all of these pressure values. So the lowest pressure, memory serves, is steel. Which is 1 megapascal. Or is it not? 1 megapascal, 800 kilopascals, but you could use 1 megapascal. That's above. $30, $25, 23.5, 10, 50. Yeah. So effectively, I only need low. So I need low pressure, high pressure, I need 2. temperatures need... I think the minimum is 1k, effectively. No, hold on, that's not correct. Some of them need weird numbers in between, like 600 Kelvin. So I think that's probably the highest. So the highest I think is 1800, and the lowest is like 500. So in theory, I only need that. So low temperature, high temperature, high temperature. Which is what? Is 8 values. So I think that's what I'm going to run this time. Some theory. So 0, 1. 40 I'm going to use as the generic high pressure. Hold on, I've already got all the numbers here. You know, purely because my table of numbers is the other way around. Cows Are Evil had some code, but it was a bit complicated. Why are you programming cows? That's a really random thing to program. Yeah, purely because my table is the other way around, I'm going to do it this way around. So 0, 1, 50, 0, 5, 40. Just going to copy and paste that a few times. So iron, gold, silver, lead, nickel, steel, electrum, invar, constantan, solder, cast alloy, astro alloy, inconel, 2 more, wasp alloy, stellite. Okay. Now I just need to type in a bunch of values. This is not going to be very fun. So 0150 still remains. I need that. No. Yeah, 0150 still remains. That one's still the same. So gold is still the same. Because effectively I'm going to shoot anything. No, hold on. Hold on. Low temperature range needs to be above 350. No, hold on. I know what I'm doing wrong. So that's 09. 08. 06. 06, 06, 04, 08, 09, 06, 12, 10, 04. It's technically 350, but I can't do 350, so it's going to be 4. That's going to be 1, because it's 950, but I can't. Oh no. There. Okay, so I do actually need the extra resolution on this. So I need 3 low temperatures. So I need to go through and put O's on all these. 'Astral is 9, isn't it? 0, 06. So, keep doing that. 1800. Okay. So the high temperatures probably also need a third value. So that should be 500, 500, 500, 500, 500, 500. There we go. Electrum can take 500. Invar is 1500. Yeah, so that's 5,000. That represents 1500. Constantan is 5,000 again. Solder is 550. Thousand. Hang on, what's that up? Hold on. Let's do this differently. Let's build these numbers up rather than trying to edit them in the middle. Let's go back to Constantan. Right, Constantan. Right, so let's just double check. Invar is 1200. 1500. Electrum is 600 to 5,000. Okay, what have I done wrong? I missed one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've missed one. What have I missed? Copper. That is what is confusing me. Okay, let's try this again. Okay. 900, 800, 600, 600, 600. Lead should be 400. Nickel should be 800. Steel should be 900. Electrum should be 600. Invar should be 1200. You should be 1,000. Solder should be 035. Astra alloy should be 095. Astra alloy should be 1000. Inconel should be 600. You're 400. You're 1800. Okay, silicon. Go up to 5000. As can everything down to electrum. Invar is then 1500. Constan is high. Solder's 550. That is 1000. What am I thinking? Astra alloy. Is again up to anything it wants to be. That one is up to anything it wants to be. This is 800, and this is up to whatever it wants to be. Perfect. Right. So 05 represents... No, so I'm just saying all these are going to be 1, aren't I? So 01 to represent 1 megapascal. I think most of this electrum, invar. Right, so invar is the first one that needs to be higher, so that's 18,000. Concertan needs to be 20,000. You're 1,000. You're 25,000. You're 30,000. You're 23.5. Ah, I'm gonna need 3 values for all of these as well. Okay. Last alloy is 50. Stellite is 10. Right. Now, because I've had to add in those extra values, I might as well set these up correctly. So it's 500. All these are 500 megapascal. So I get to steel, which is 1. Electrum is 800 megapascals. Solder is definitely 1. Okay. Now, reading through this list, I definitely don't need the last one. The last low pressure. So high, I'm always going to set to 40,000. Unless I need to go above. Unless there's something specific that needs to be set. So Electrum can go up to 2400, but I'm only going to do 2000. Invar is 20. That is 40. 40, 30, 40, 24, 52. Right, glass bowler I'm going to put to 52 because that's underneath the capacity of the furnace, but above where it needs to be without causing it to creak too much. And then Stellite's 20. So that is my push codes. I'm going to go get a drink and empty out my waste canister. I really should have bought a tin down with me, shouldn't I? Oh, what's on it? I'm going to eat the one I've got in my soup. Oh, that one's not going to fill up, is it? You're the wrong way round. Ah, I haven't had a storm in a while, so the batteries are getting kind of low now. Because I'm over half. That's not very good. Can't even tell if I have got a storm coming because the door's not telling me anything. I've found these storms can be quite random at times. which I guess is correct. It does mean that the batteries get rather low at times. I didn't actually do my waste tank, did I? Ah, that's what I went it back in for. I also need to keep an eye on this filter. I'm down to 5%. Let's actually go make that filter now. So that when it complains at me for filtration issues, I've just got one. God, they've really made centrifuge slow. Again, don't like you, song. Go away. Right. Let's keep that on my inventory just in case for when I need it. Right. Back to what I was doing. So main. Main. So I tend to run these as just a series of commands. So it'll work the same way the other one does. That when you get that it'll read off the settings, which is on D0. It'll then if you're equal to -1, which is nothing, it'll just go back to main. So I may want to consider so I may at some point want to put in a thing which means that it depressurizes, and if it gets another request through in that time, it kind of stops depressurizing. That makes sense? So the next step is to read the value. So that will read my value out of here. I then need to decode it into my 4 variables. So let's call these alias high fresh. Yeah, let's call these R15. Let's go this way. 2, 3, 4. Low pressure. High temp. Low temp. 12. There we go. So in theory I need to do a similar thing to last time. Which is I need to loop it. 1, 2. Hang on. Is there anywhere that tells you how big the variables are in, like what variable they're using to store the values in the R's? they released what type of variable it is, so like how many I can have in it. Because what I'm thinking is it'll be easier for me to just put all these to 3, rather than have most of them as 3 and one of them as 2. But I don't know whether that'll store properly. In fact, let's just test this. SDB setting R0. Right. In theory, if I set you to 1, should end up with my number in there. 1, 2, 3. I know 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Is that correct? Because of course it doesn't store the first number when it's 0. But it goes down to 400, so that's good. So let's try invar. What number is invar? 10. 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that seems to be storing the entire thing. And it doesn't appear to be working correctly, so that's good. So basically, I quickly need to steal this. Import. This is where I hate this bit, because I can't copy paste most of it. I basically just want to steal this. How do I? Oh yeah, I remember I can copy out like that, can't I? Cancel. Import. Okay. I just copied it out to one side, by if you're wondering. I just basically want to grab you. Yeah, that didn't work very well, did it? What the hell happened there? Nope, that's definitely not what I wanted to do. Okay, one sec. Copy. I've just opened up an like text editor to one side. It's just using that to like paste in that piece of code. Right. Now I have to work out what the hell I'm doing. First things first. How many zeros do I want? 1, 2. 1. 9. 3. 1, 2, 3. That gives me my starting point. You then want to go in 1,000 blocks, not 10,000 blocks. This will therefore go. Oh god, that's going to be impossible to do. That works. So 180. No, I still want that as 1, don't I? Still want to mod it as 1. Um, 1,000 will take off 3, 2. Maybe 0.5 still works. I think 0.5 still works because it'll still end up as 1 because I want the bottom value. Yeah, that works. And I still don't know why this is saying it's got an issue with the 4 there. In theory, if I write to db setting and I do what? R4 appears to be the number I want. Nope, that is not working. Hang on, I've still got one of these in here, don't I? 10, good. 1, 2, 3. Oh. There we go. 200. Okay. Just sleep that for a moment so I can actually like check it's actually getting all the values. Oops, there we go. Chip in there to export to. $120, $150, $180, $200. $120, $150, $180, $200. Perfect. The only problem with this is it all stores the same place, and I don't know how to change that. I may just copy paste this a few times. Don't really want to do that though. Not sure how to get those values out then. Ba ba ba. Memory serves. You can like Yep. Yes, I'm not sure how to set those out. I don't really want to just copy paste this. Effectively, the only line I could delete there is that one, and this is going to get kind of long. So I might come back to that. Let's assume I've done that for now. Let's just do... Yeah. Pretend I've done that for now. Move. High pressure. Because I also then need to modify all of them, don't I? Because, actually I can do that now, can't I? Because I think I need to do multiply high pressure. So each of them have got 3. And high pressures need to be 50,000. So I need to do that, but for that and low pressure. And I need to do temperatures need to be multiplied by 10. The reason I'm kind of moving on from this is I want to see if I've got space at the end of the code to actually like just copy paste this, or if I actually need to like find a better solution. So next bit is melt ores. So I guess the furnace goes on. What the hell's the... Ba 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 ba. Input and output, that's the one. Right. So make sure both of the input and output are set to 0. Now I've actually just had an interesting thought. I think I'm better off waiting till the ores are smelted before I read all this data out. The reason for that, because to save a bit of effort, I could just put those in as a something before I do this. What I'm thinking is if I do does this work? What I'm thinking is, could I just build a single script which is designed to manage this temperature? The problem is, no, I can use this because the loop can be in here, can't I? Does that work? If I then build a little subscript which is run furnace, jrar it, and then effectively run a loop here, which, how do you do regent read? I think it's LR, isn't it? LR, regent mode. E1. Contents. Is that right? Hold on. Is that central area an actual, like, import-export? No. It is just regents. Regents are a pain in the ass. I wish they'd just make it another slot like all the others. No, hold on. I remember now. Isn't there a thing in here? Regents. That's the one I want. Okay. I'll eventually spell it. So effectively what I want to do is run a loop. That waits until there's 400 in it. So R2 400. So while it's below 400, it'll keep going back to melt. Effectively, what I do is put a jowl run furnace in there, and then this script little bit will kind of just will actually work out what it needs to do to the furnace. Because I've got two digital valves for hot and cold. So let me read off my two values I need. R4. And R5. So temperature effectively that'll always equal. Yes, this is a binary switch for this. Providing the temperature is below, providing A is below providing temperature is below high temp, and then effectively I want to not that. For low temperature. Because it's valves, I don't need to set any values to them. It's just a pure on-off. Whether there's hot gas in here or cold gas in here. Yeah, that works. R3. That should be equal to either 0 or 1. Then to invert it, in theory, all I do is R3, R3. Because if it's equal to 1, it's not equal to 0, and then it's equal to 0. If it's equal to 0, it's equal to 0, and therefore is equal to 1. Effectively, if it's bringing in pressure, it's always from the hot side, unless it's over temperature and then it's bringing in from the cold side. So it's two independent functions. Cool. So the pressure, let's make this a little bit more obvious that I'm switching to pressure. Effectively, if it is any similar system then. So, apart from I'm doing high pressure, and I need to times the value by 100. Is that actually... Well, there's one interesting question then. Do I actually need the low pressure or low temperature? Because in theory, if I take solder, for example, which is very low temperature, providing the temperature isn't above there, it will eventually reach 350. And the pressure, I think. Does that work? Because if it's not at the pressure and it gets to there, it starts adding cold air, which will increase the pressure while maintaining this. Yeah, I think that works. I actually don't think I need all of that data. So the reason I need to multiply it is because of course these are done in 0 to 100, not, and I kind of either want it on or off, not somewhere in the middle. I may want to adjust this so it's not at 100 and maybe do 20. I actually will actually do thinking about it. However, the output can just run at 100. But yeah, like I said, the interesting part of that is only need high temperature and high pressure. I don't really care about the low pressure and low temperature. Does that work? Guess I'll find out. So yeah, for now. So yeah, I can then therefore keep the thing below 1,000, but keep the temperature just running. Because I don't like if it's low temperature, I just add more hot gas. And if it's above pressure, I just remove gas. So yeah, I don't think I'd ever actually. So yeah, I'm actually kind of convinced. Yes, yes, lady. I probably don't need the low information there, do I? Yeah, because that then also decreases the amount of stuff I've got in my code. So that would probably also solve my problem with the needing to get the values out.
Oxygen low.
Because I only need 2 of them. Not 4 of them, which is a lot less code to copy paste. So I think that actually would solve my problems quite well. The great news that means I get to delete all these. also may as well just put in these as full numbers rather than as partial numbers, so a 4 and a 5. That again makes my life a little bit easier. Because then I don't need to do additional maths on any of these numbers. And they're still shorter than they were, so... Okay. Yeah, effectively that means it will... Yeah. It's adding pressure until it actually works, yeah. I don't think there's a reason why that wouldn't work. Okay. So I don't need R15. I don't need that. Do need that multiplication. I do need that subtract. Don't need either of those. No, that just gives me the value after that. So this would just be move high temperature. R4. And whatever's left is R1 will be high pressure. I then don't need this. Cool. And effectively, what I then do is smelt, gel run, yield. I can't remember which value you can read. I think it's LS. And you can read it off of the export slot. I think that's how it works. Because something appears in the export slot when it's ready to. I think you get an occupied in the output slot. When it's actually working, when like the temperature's correct. So when R2 is equal to 0, so nothing in the slot, it just keeps going back to smelt. And it is fine. But you and you 0, just to ensure that nothing actually changes. Then I think you do SD1 Activate. One. Memory serves. Pretty sure activate does the arm. Nope. Open. Alright. Oh yeah, I remember what activate does. It's the red button on the thing that I always never use. Okay. Open. Yield. Close. Oops, I didn't mean to screenshot. In theory, that should be everything. Other than maybe something to allow the furnace to, like, depressurize. So what will that be? L... What one was I using? R5. D1, pressure. So if pressure is above 0, so if pressure is not equal to 0, you multiply R5 by 100 and then set D1 setting output to R5 because that will then work. The last thing is if R0 equals 0. Actually, hold on. SD1 on R5. In theory, there's pressure in there. It needs to be on, otherwise it can be off. Can it? I think that works. Let's find out. Always a good sign when nothing's happening. Not such a good sign. The other thing I can do here is just set D1 on 0. So set the two valves to off so they don't draw power. Because I don't need either of those on at this point. That reads the pressure, stores it in R5. SNES is when the pressure is not equal to 0. If it's equal to 0, that will now be 0. So that should turn the furnace off, and this should get set to 0. Then reads the setting. Oh, hold on. Is there actually a setting on it? That might be why it's not working. Whoops. Second time I've done that tonight. Yeah, that's only running once. Why are you only running once? A equals. So if R0 equals to -1, then jump back to main and go round. Should be correct. -1. Also begs the question why that is equal to 100. That doesn't seem to be working properly. Once I turn you on, you're not turning off. If I tell you that, it is. Oh, great. So, I've already messed it up. It's getting kind of late now, so I'm thinking, do I really want to fix this right now? Right. Oh, I know I've done wrong. No, I haven't. No. Why are you set to 50? I accidentally hit 0 just then. Right, D0 is definitely furnace 1 memory, which is this. Setting, storing. If that equals -1, it goes to main, and therefore it goes round. But it's only going round once. And that is the weird bit.
Hunger caution.
Yeah, lady. Why are you on 100? Now, interestingly, this is working properly. That should now turn on. That should go to 100. It is turning on, but that's not going to 100. Okay, what have I done wrong? D1, setting output. It is definitely setting output. Setting output, good. R5. Ah, I'm not putting that back into R5. That's what's wrong. Right, there we go. So it's crashing and not giving me an error. I swear they've made that worse. It used to give you errors much better. In theory, when this reaches 0, it should turn itself off. In theory, yep, you're turning off, which is good. That also tells me, though, I need to remember to put SD1 setting input 0, because I want it to turn off. Turn off the inputs. Right. So let's give this a bit of a test. So let's start off by putting in come on. 1 into here. That in theory should call in the silicon, which has appeared. Yeah, it's kind of doing what I was expecting it to do. Which is it's just constantly flicking up and down off of the... No, that's not right. You shouldn't be flicking quite like that. Okay, let's something slightly wrong there. Let's take you out. Let's turn you down. Okay, what's wrong there? So I've got the 20 and the 100, so that bit's working. Question is... Oh, right. Okay. So that's also not reading. Weird. What are you doing? Hang on. Logic reader. Furnace 1. Okay, something else is wrong now. Just exporting, not importing. So high pressure is 1000. It's reading the pressure, it's then checking. A is less. So if R5, so the pressure is less than the high pressure, equals, it puts it to 3. Then times that by 30. So if it's less than that, that equals 1, which is right. Then times that value by 20 and sets it. It's correct. And then it checks. Well, effectively, it inverts this. So if R3 equals 1, this will equal 0. Multiplies it and then sets it. Which should be correct. Now are you off? I got no furnace on in this. D1 on 1. Set them both to 0. Definitely got a yield in there. Right, let's do something else quick. I'm going to double check. Regents is 400, which is what I wanted. Not quite sure why you're turning off and not turning back on. Something's going weird there. I always wonder if I've got these the wrong way around. R5. Register equals 1 if A is less than 0. Otherwise, A is less than B. If the pressure is less than high pressure. Hold on. No, that's actually right. Hold on. Let's just... Okay. Right, you're still not getting there, are you? Should have known that. Right, there's two problems with that. Why are you not? Change you to that one. You appear to be getting stuck in this loop. State equals 0. Okay, that's changed, which means it has actually gotten through. Ah, tired. I'm really not with it enough to do this. What the hell am I doing wrong? Right. High pressure, high temperature. Okay, so there is no high temperature, and there is a high pressure. Hang on. Let me do this. 5004, 0. Right. 5004, 0. Right, that's why it's not working. So I need an extra 0 on both of those, I guess. 5,000, 40,000, that's what I want. It is now pressurizing. Okay. Let me take you out, put you in a slot reader instead. Just double check I've actually got that right. Furnace 1, export, occupied. Right, that doesn't work. How did I work out whether there is something ready in the output? How does mode do? The hell's mode in this thing? It's definitely quite an easy way of telling this, if memory serves. I think it's this. No. Definitely not the Regent reader. Logic reader. Let's try logic reader then.
Hunger critical.
Open. Power. Is that it? Is it the prefer hash? This is silicon. No. Right, recipe hash. I think that was the one. Let me just dump out this pressure. temperature back up. Recipe hash, that's the one. Right, that's how you can tell whether it's ready to go. Okay. Where am I going? Here. So, L, R2, D1, rest air, P, hash, P hash, there we go. And basically, what does that equal if there is no recipe? It's 0. Okay. Okay, weird. Oh, I know why it's doing that. Hold on. I haven't actually told it to reset the S D0 setting -1 to reset the actual recipe. Right, you can go and you can go because you're getting dealt with later. Okay. Export. Okay, random. Oh. That actually set you to -1. There we go. Let me go back inside quick. Just allow me to check if there's a silicon ingot has now appeared at the bottom of at the back of everything. Silicon ingot has appeared. Hooray! That might work. I need to give it another test, but... Also, I believe that's a storm I can hear. That means I've got power coming in. It is indeed a storm I can hear. The door is closed. Okay. Let me just double check that the furnace is going to turn off. Like that, when it gets to 0. And it is. Right. Perfect. So. I set you to 1. In theory. I should get silicon appearing in here. Like that. Right, it is flickering up and down off of 1 megapascal, which is what I'd expect it to be doing while it smelts. Ah, I hope this works. Yeah, effectively it keeps dumping air in at 1 megapascal. And it's approximately hovering around the turret temperature, so that's fine. Okay, now it's trying to get the temperature, and then it releases. Then it's set to dump all the air out. That is set to -1. Sweet! I think that is a success. So what I need to do is export that to number 2. Well, in theory, if I wait for this guy to finish. No, actually, just turn off the thing. Set you to 0. And do some iron this time. Theory, this one should work instead. That is pumping in the waste gas. This may not be the most efficient on the gas, because it's probably wasting a lot by the fact it's chucking out and then pulling back in. Oh well. Basically. Sweet. That has now got itself set to depressurize. Everything is off. Let's put you back to -1. You're back to -1. So I turn you back on. I think that may be advanced furnace setup finished. That's always well on to see. I've got full power again. The storm has done its job. In theory, I should have 2 silicon and 1 iron ingot sat up here. Which I do. Yay! Hooray! Thank you, Mighty. Ah, right, at 2%. I think I can count that filter as done. Before I just flat out forget and kill myself. Yeah. Where's my atmosphere in here? Ooh. Weird. It appears I'm missing gas filters. I'm guessing that's a result of the explosion last time. Let's go make some gas filters. I want a nitrogen and a nitrous oxide. Okay. So that is kind of where I wanted to get to today. Next time, well, in between now and Thursday when I'll be back for this, I am going to build the other setup for this, for the most part. It'll be very, very similar to this, so you're not going to miss much. The only difference is I'm not going to have quite as much storage space. I just don't need it for the ingots. I probably need like a couple at most. But like the overall concept will be the same. I'll probably also copy this setup for the power efficiency. But this I'm going to leave alone for now. So I'll come back with that next time. Yeah. Effectively, I'll set up the requesting system for the thingy thing, whatever it's called. Yeah, close enough. The ore requesting. Then the final part of this whole thing will be to pipe it up into these guys. and actually have them automatically feed when the ingots get too low, some more ingots into it. That is the final part of this whole game. Right, let's grab nitrous, these two. Okay. So, requests on how to make the base explode right at the end. I'm going to take a copy before anyone questions my sanity. I mean, I hope you're questioning my sanity anyways. I lost the battery too. This one lost its battery, no. Hold on. Battery 1 is up. Perfect. It is now sucking out the N2. Okay. Yeah, that is the next plan. I'll also do blah 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 in the meantime, or I'll get lazy and not do it and just do it at the start of next stream. I don't know which one yet. One of them will happen. Let's move these back into position. Okay. Yeah, that's everything. So, thank you very much for coming tonight. Hopefully you either learned something or enjoyed watching me suffer, trying to program stuff. Hopefully the enjoying rather than the watching the suffering. And blow up the base, I guess. I don't know what's the best way to blow up the base today. Shall I just overpressurize it? I wonder if I can do that. Hang on. Where was my logic? There. Not there and not there. There. I wonder how long this will actually take to do. It'll probably help if I close these doors. There's less space to actually pressurize. Glad you enjoyed it, Mighty. I want to see if I can make this place blow up for a minute. Um... 200 kilopascals. Okay, well this isn't going to take too long to get to that pressure then. Anyone want to take bets on which of the windows will blow out first? I feel like if I stand here, I get maximum potential of where the hell I go. Also, before I completely screw my base up and haven't got a backup save. Okay, this might take a little bit longer than I thought. Okay, I can't bother with this. Yeah. Good night, everyone. Yeah, I'm too lazy to bother with this. It's going to take too long to actually pressurize. Yeah. I'll see you again on Thursday. Bye, for now.